If you clicked on this video, chances are you're looking for some simple, effective daily stretches to help you get a pain-free back, especially if you're over 50. Well, you've come to the right place. Does this sound familiar? You swing your legs out of bed in the morning and the very first thing that greets you is a stiff, aching back. It's that nagging pain that just makes you feel older than you really are. Well, we're going to tackle that right here and now. My name is Gavin Noble from Gavin Noble Physiotherapy here in Lisburn, and welcome to the 10x Physio channel. This is the channel that provides all the top tips and tricks to help people lead a healthier life. We are specialists in helping people aged 50 and over stay pain-free, mobile and strong. And most importantly, stay out of the doctor's office. In the next few minutes, I'm going to guide you through a complete, follow-along stretching routine. We'll start by understanding why we get back pain as we age. Then we'll move through 5 of the most effective stretches you can do to combat it. And you will want to make sure you stay with me until the very end of the video, because I have a special bonus stretch that is my personal go-to for fast relief. Plus, one crucial tip that will make sure all of your effort pays off in the long run. So before we get into the detail, if you're serious about living a strong, active and pain-free life well into your 50s, 60s and beyond, take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. We put out content just like this every single week to help you do exactly that. First, let's understand what's happening. That stiff feeling isn't just in your head, it's perfectly normal for bodies to change as we age. We might notice we're not as flexible, we may lose a little muscle mass, and our joints just don't feel as fluid as they once did. For your spine, this can mean the discs that act as cushions between your vertebrae start to lose some of their moisture and shock absorbing ability. This age-related degeneration is one of the most common reasons for back pain after 50. And often, the real culprits aren't just in the back itself, but in the muscles that surround it. I'm talking about tight hamstrings, the muscles down the back of your thighs, and tight hip flexors at the front of your hips. When these get tight, especially from sitting for long periods, they can pull on your pelvis, tilting it out of alignment and creating a ton of constant stress and strain in your lower back. But here is the wonderful news. You do not have to just accept this as your new normal. A consistent, gentle stretching routine is one of the most powerful things you can do to fight back pain. Before we get moving, let's quickly cover a few golden rules to make sure you get the most out of this routine safely. First, always warm up. We'll do a quick one together now in just a moment, but please never jump into deep stretches with cold muscles. Just a few minutes of light movement gets the blood flowing and prepares your body. Secondly, every movement should be gentle and slow. We're not bouncing or forcing a thing. The goal is to stretch to a point of mild, comfortable tension, never sharp pain. If you feel anything sharp or shooting, that's your body's signal to back off immediately. Thirdly, we'll hold each of our stretches for about 30 seconds. This gives your muscles time to truly relax and lengthen. Some research actually suggests that for older adults, holding a stretch for up to 60 seconds can be even more beneficial. So if it feels good, feel free to stay a little longer. While you hold, focus on your breath. Deep, steady breaths signal your nervous system to relax, which helps you ease even deeper into the stretch. Ready? Let's warm up. You can do this sitting in a sturdy chair or in standing. So let's begin with some simple marching. So we just stand in one place, we're just lifting one knee, then the other, gently waking up the body. So we can do this, and let's go for about 30 seconds, and we can just swing those arms naturally, gets the blood moving. Now we can go for some simple shoulder rolls, like so. Inhale, exhale, and then we want to do 5 of these. So really feel that movement in your upper back. And now let's reverse it. Okay, inhale, exhale. Okay, and again, we're going to do 5. And then finally, we'll do some torso twists. So if you're seated, cross your hands over your shoulders and gently twist side to side. Try and keep those hips pointing forward. Okay, if you're in standing, you can let those arms just gently swing with the movement. Okay, and again, we're just going to do that for around 15 seconds or so. All right, you should feel a little warmer now and ready to stretch. Before we dive into the main routine, I have a quick question for you. What is the one daily activity that your back pain stops you from enjoying the most? Let me know down in the comment section below. I read every single one and I always love to hear from you. Okay, let's get into the first of our 5 core stretches. And don't forget that amazing bonus stretch is waiting for you right at the end. So for this stretch, find a nice comfortable position, maybe on the floor. What we're going to do is our legs start off out straight, our head supported with a pillow. We're going to take one knee and just give it a hug up to the chest. Again, you're going to feel a nice stretch just through that lower back and into those glutes. We're going to hold it for around 30 seconds. We're just breathing nice and gently into that stretch, remember. Once you have completed those 30 seconds, we can relax there and swap over to the other side. Again, hugging that knee up as tight and as comfortably as you can there. Again, a little stretch into that other side of your spine and into the glutes. Once you've completed 30 seconds, again, swap over again. You can do 2 to 3 to each side. So if you have difficulty getting up and down from the floor, you can do this stretch in sitting as well. So you can just find a nice comfortable chair. We're just going to take our knee and we're just going to give that knee a hug up to the chest. You're still getting a stretch into that lower back. Same thing as the last time. We hold for 30 seconds and then relax and then swap over to the other side, giving that knee a hug up to the chest. Again, it's a really nice stretch into that lower back and into those glutes. So we're staying in this lying position and we're going to stretch the hamstrings. So we'll keep one leg still flat onto the floor or the mat, wherever you are, and then we're going to hug one knee up like so, grabbing in behind the thigh there. And from there, we want to send that heel up towards the ceiling. Don't worry if your knee doesn't go straight, as long as you're feeling that stretch into those hamstrings. Again, we want to hold this for up to 30 seconds. Once you have completed those 30 seconds, we relax, let that leg come down, come back down, and then swap over to the other side like so. So we're hugging that knee up, send that heel up towards the ceiling, getting a stretch into the hamstrings. Again, with your breathing, nice and gentle. So you're really focused on getting that stretch in the hamstrings. Remember, we're not trying to increase pain here. All we're trying to do is feel that stretch in the muscle. Okay, and again, 30 seconds, relax back down. And again, you can do 2 to 3 of those on each side. So just into our seated version of our hamstring stretch. Again, if you just sit comfortably on a chair, and then you want to keep your back nice and straight, okay? So no slouching here. All we're going to do is just gently straighten one knee like so. Okay, again, you'll feel that pull just gently into the hamstrings there. Again, it's a hold for 30 seconds. Relax off, and then we'll do 30 seconds on the other side. So this is our seated version of our hamstring stretch. Again, remember, no pain, just a stretch. You're keeping your back nice and straight through the movement. And it's 30 seconds for each stretch, 2 to 3 on each side. Okay, everyone, you're doing great. But let's move on to the next couple of movements. This is the cat-cow. This is a classic for getting the spine moving and melting away stiffness. So with this exercise, we're going to come into our standard kneeling tabletop position, which is here. So my hands are underneath my shoulders there. Knees should be underneath the hips. Okay, don't let the head sink down like this to start off with. Okay, so if you take a breath in here, on the breath out, we tuck the chin underneath, tuck the tailbone underneath, and we're almost rounding that spine up towards the ceiling. Breath in, and then release, and let everything come into the opposite direction. Breath out. Again, just move back into that rounded position. Breath in, and opposite direction again. Okay, so last one here, breath out. Breath in. And then we can come back. And that is our cat-cow exercise. So this is our cat-cow in a seated position for those who find it difficult on the floor. So if you can think, remember, we're up, start up nice and tall here. Okay. And then on the breath out, we can basically just slouch down like so. Breath in. We come up nice and tall again. Again, open up through those shoulder blades. Breath out. Breath in. Up tall. So just from the side should look hopefully something like this. So on the breath out, we slouch like so. Breath in. We're up nice and tall. This is the hip flexor stretch. This is key for the front of your hips, which get super tight from sitting. So with our hip flexor stretch, we're going to come up into this high kneeling position. What I want you to do next is to step 1 foot forward like so. You can have your knee resting on a pillow or a cushion or something soft that just gives that knee a little bit more comfort. Okay, we're up tall here. Our tailbone at the back, so right at the back here, tucks underneath like so. That can start to just gently increase that stretch of that hip flexor. And then all we want to do now is just slide those hips forward. Okay, we're keeping that knee over that ankle. Okay, but keep that tailbone tucked underneath. That's most important. Okay, we don't want to give you any pain in your back. This is going to stretch right down through the front here. Again, we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. When you've done that for 30 seconds, we'll come back, step back off. Okay, and then we'll swap just over to the other side there. Again, remember, tailbone tucks underneath like so. That's stretching down through my other side of hip there. And then we take those hips just forward like so, with that stretch down the front of the thigh. Again, breathing nice and gently with the stretch. 30 seconds, release and relax off there. And that's our hip flexor stretch. Okay, so we're into this step stance position here. We're going to hold just onto a sturdy chair. So almost like a lunge, but we want to tuck this tailbone underneath at the back. Then we start to let this front leg, this lead leg bend. okay? And we start to feel a stretch just down through the front. So we're trying to stay up nice and tall here as we keep that bend going forward. Feel that stretch down through the front of the thigh. And again, we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Okay, the heel doesn't need to be flat. We're not doing a calf stretch here. We're just stretching down the front of the thigh. And we've come back up and swap over to the other side to do exactly the same exercise. So tailbone tucks underneath. And we just start to come down. Feel that stretch into the front of the other thigh. And again, hold for 30 seconds and do 2 to 3 on each side. Seated spinal twist. So these twists are fantastic for improving your spine's mobility. So you sit tall on your chair, away from the backrest, both feet flat on the floor. You're going to cross your right leg over onto your left. Place your left hand on that right knee, and if you want, on the chair behind. As you exhale, you're going to gently twist your torso over to the right, like so. Take a breath in. Exhale. We'll do one more of those. Breath in. Exhale. And just gently come back into center. Okay, so let's just do that over to the other side. So I'm going to cross left knee over onto the right, like so. Right hand onto left knee. This left hand just reaches behind. If you're on a chair, you can grab hold of the backrest. Okay, so breath in and then breath out. You're rotating around to that left side, like so. Breath in, breath out, breath in, and then breath out. You can gently come back and into center. So you want to repeat that 2 to 3 times on each side. And now here is the bonus stretch that I promised you. So when you have back pain, quite often that tension can creep up into your neck and your shoulders. And that's where this stretch can do wonders for you. Okay, so all we're going to do now is, obviously we're sitting down. Let your hands just rest onto your knees. We want to sit up nice and tall, like so. All we're going to do is just lead that right ear down to the shoulder, like so. We're going to breathe through that exercise. And again, we're going to hold that for 15 seconds. Then we'll come back up to center. And then we let the ear come down over to the other side. So again, we're just releasing tension in that neck and shoulders. So again, same thing as always, just let the shoulders relax down. And we'll go doing 2 to each side here. I'll come back up, I'll do one more just over to the other side. And again, I'm really feeling that stretch just down through the side of the neck there and down into the shoulder. And then back up. So that's that bonus stretch for you. Hope you enjoy. And here is that crucial tip I mentioned. Consistency over intensity. The real key to lasting relief is making this short routine a part of your daily morning ritual. Doing this every single day, even just for 5 minutes, can truly transform how you feel all day long, giving you the freedom to move without that constant nagging ache. That is how you win. And just like that, you did it. Take a second to notice how you feel. Hopefully, your back feels a little looser, a bit more alive, and a whole lot less stiff. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this routine was helpful for you, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a like. It really helps the channel reach more people just like you. And if you want to take the next step on your journey to a pain-free life, I can recommend you watch our video on the 3 biggest mistakes people over 50 make when trying to fix back pain. You can click on the link that's right here on the screen to watch that next. If you are in or around the Lisburn area and would like to have a more personal chat about how we can help you, all the contact details for Gavin Noble Physiotherapy are in our website at gavnoble.com. Have a wonderful pain-free day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.